stories from the barstool lore. Ice behind the counter serving history galore.
Sounds great. It smells delicious.
It smells. It has like a scent.
This smells delicious.
What do you got there?
I'm drinking a double dry hopped IPA. It's an Imperial IPA.
Wow. Yeah.
Imperial. What is that? Like 9.5?
Something like that. But this is from Other Half.
So I'm gonna pour us a little whiskey, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
You guys.
Well,
No, we're
this
doing
is
vodka.
Drinks first.
So. But we'll do the questions later. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyways, this bottle right here, Redwood Empire. I got turned on by
Turned on.
no, Jesse from Lumpy's, which is owned by our good friend Connor. Connor, shout out. I got a bottle of this. I thought it was really good, very smooth. Not a lot of rye, but you can decide for yourself. Cracking it open fresh.
All right.
Does it ram on Lumpies?
Lumpy's, no, it's Connor.
Stuff town.
Stumpies. You're right, Lumpies. Okay, I got the two mixed up.
Thank you.
Just try a little bit. The Emerald Giant. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah,
I love
rye whiskey.
I love the.
I forgot to mention that too. Like,
This looks like a tarot card. I love it.
and I'm not a rye guy. I'm more of a shy guy.
Oh,
But that whiskey's pretty good.
I do play Shy Guy
Anyways.
on Mario Kart.
Cheers, guys. Drinks first.
Questions later.
All right. Let's try this out.
Yeah, for an episode on vodka, it doesn't seem very appropriate for us to be just drinking on straight vodka.
That's true.
Well, I mean, that's how it was meant to be, right? Meant to be drank.
Just was it?
I think so. Or not meant, but that's what a lot of the Russians prefer. Either chilled or on ice. Nothing else.
I don't want to derail the whole thing there. You said Shy Guy. Shy Guy is my favorite Zelda character.
He's not in Zelda.
Yes, he is.
Is he really?
The one for the Game Boy.
Don't look at me, David.
The one for the Game Boy Advance. I can't remember what it's called, but he actually is in that Zelda game.
I thought he was in Mario.
He is in Mario, but he's also in the one.
Oh,
for
it
the
could
Game
be
Boy
like where they
Michael, look that up for
crossover.
me.
Mic check.
Look up which Zelda game Shy Guy's in.
Shy Guys, the masked enemies known from the Mario series appear The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. That's it. Link's Awakening.
Well,
Called it.
I'll be damned.
Boom. Mike has been dropped.
I checked my drop.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about vodka tonight.
Vodka. Very important.
Yeah, it's a huge staple at any bar, and it's heavily known for its neutrality in flavor. One thing that I learned early on in my bartending career was that experts have a hard time distinguishing between top of the shelf and bottom shelf vodka. And it's clear, and it blends well with a lot of different flavors, and it's just a great mixer all in all. Tommy, do you have any like do's and don'ts when it comes to using vodka in drinks?
Do's and don'ts. Do put the vodka away. Don't drink vodka. Just kidding.
I take it you don't like vodka.
No. I mean, it's
Do take all the vodka, pour it out, and then grab yourself some gin.
So do's. I would say, like a gin martini. I think a vodka should be enjoyed either shake or stirred, chilled, or in a big cube, or with some olive juice or olive brine, and not to mask the vodka. I mean, I think that's why we have the flavored vodkas.
Yeah.
Where they can help.
Like Wild Roots or Smirnoff or
the
North
blueberry,
44.
orange, where...
I hate flavored vodkas now.
Do you?
In my 20s, I talked about the party house that I
2 years ago. Right.
Yeah, 2 years ago was my 20s. Yes, the party house I had. I found a cheat code for getting drunk fast was Coke and cherry flavored vodka. I'm gonna say
Let's talk about the soda.
What?
Huh?
Soda.
What's so? What are you talking? What?
Look, you said Coke.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mixed cherry flavored vodka with the Coca-Cola. and I did that one too many times, and I just don't like cherry vodka or even just the fake cherry flavor anymore. Like cherry Jolly Ranchers
Oh,
can die in a fire.
that's my favorite Jolly Rancher.
They could just die in a fire.
But I don't like any cherry. I don't normally eat cherry flavored
I was
stuff.
about to make it take it. Never mind.
Gosh. I remember though my first really, really, really bad drinking experience was with a bottle of whipped cream flavored Smirnoff
You
vodka.
must be spit out my beer.
And
Oh man.
I remember at the time I like took a sip of it straight and I was like, this isn't bad. And never again. Like that one time has forever, like it took me a good year or like a couple years before I got back into having any like vodka at all.
So I guess we can all agree our first taste of vodka was a flavored vodka.
No,
No?
that was just my experience. With why I can't do cherry vodka or just cherry.
Because we've all tasted vodka. It's really like rubbing alcohol. Like that's what I get every time I taste like a non-flavored vodka.
I have seen a lot of people do shots of vodka with like a pickleback.
What were we talking about before that camera stopped?
It was a flavored vodka's the flavor.
Preceded by a toast.
Yep, always preceded by
That's
a
how
toast.
Russians.
And they say, what is it? The cheers in Russian.
What is the Russian cheers?
I think it's
But, okay, hang on.
Strovia?
See, that's my job.
Nostrovia.
yeah, Nostorovia.
Nostrovia.
No, Strovia.
Not Asturia.
It's
Say it again.
Nostrovia. Nostrovia.
Something like that. Yeah.
Let's look at here. Let's look at rocks. The most common cheers raising a glass of vodka or any drink is Zad.
Yeah, that's Nostorovia.
That's not Strovia.
Okay. I don't know how to read Russian. It says to health.
Huh.
That's what it means apparently.
Oh, Zastrovia.
Or for you have
Zastrovia.
Zastrovia or Nostrovia. That's for health and,
Oh, okay.
and to health. So za means for.
Oh,
Na means for and za means to.
isn't that interesting?
But then there's also to your health as well. There's another one here.
Vash.
Vash is Nostrovia.
Adults with vodka. You guys want to hear that?
I've got a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were going on.
So vodkas. So one of the things is use vodka's neutrality to let other ingredients shine through. So like fresh juices in a Moscow Mule or tomato juice in a Bloody Mary. Chilled vodka in a freezer is great. Fun fact, vodka won't freeze. So if you keep it in the freezer, it will stay as
There's a
liquid.
lot of alcohols that don't freeze.
That's
I
true.
think if it's over 40%,
I think you're right.
like that's the.
Definitely shake citrus-based drinks like Cosmos or Lemon Drop, mainly because aerating it gives it like a frothy texture, and vodka loves to be mixed with things, partly just due to its neutrality.
Very.
But stick to quality vodkas for sipping or simple cocktails. Mid-tier works fine for heavy mixers.
If you're sipping vodkas, you've got a problem.
Really?
I'm not a big
Do
fan
ya?
of sipping vodkas.
What if you're Russian?
Fair. No, there's your problem.
Well, what do you? Okay, so
Sorry.
like a
I like Russian. Wait,
A vodka
how do you phrase that?
Phrasing.
Strike that from the record.
No, but vodka martini. Yeah, a little bit of vermouth and vodka. You sip on that, you don't down it, and it's fucking delicious.
Yeah. I do myself prefer martinis that have onions instead of olives. I think it's
Is that
just
why you
a lot-
brought that in?
Yeah, I brought in a little thing of.
Never tried.
Like-
I gotta try that.
I saw the jar. I never used it, but we have it.
They're delicious.
If anybody asks for a Gibson,
Yep.
you know,
I got a quick question for the two bartenders here. Would grilled or like caramelized onions be good in that?
no, I don't think so because
Well, the caramelized onions have the sugar. It releases the sugar.
it's gonna mix with the drink and it won't taste.
Well, it depends on the drink though, and how you're
But
making.
we're talking about vodka.
I'm just curious. Would caramelized onions work in a vodka drink?
A Bloody Mary, I'm sure.
Yeah, and a Bloody Mary,
Definitely a Bloody Mary.
but I don't think like in a martini.
That's my favorite
I'm gonna have to look this
vodka cocktail is a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time I'll drink vodka is in a Bloody Mary. Or like a really nice martini.
Heck yeah.
Vodka martini.
So, we can get real quick into just the science behind how it's made. So what spirit producers will generally do is they'll ferment grains like wheat, rye, corn, or potatoes, and they'll let it ferment to create like a little mash, kind of in the same way that whiskey's done. And so you get kind of like a weak beer, and then they go through repeated distilling processes, which is like boiling it, because the alcohol will boil out much faster than the water, or like the water will. And so they'll capture those gaseous fumes and let those fumes re-solidify back into a liquid. And they'll do that like 30, 40, 50 times.
To get the most out of it, yeah.
And yeah, what that does is that purifies your solution to pure alcohol. And so it'll be really, really strong. And then they'll filter that liquid through like charcoal or quartz, sometimes even meteorite dust. Have you ever heard of that?
Are you talking about actual like meteorite dust or
Literally meteorite dust. Fun fact, it's a marketing gimmick. Like
like a Goldschlager?
yeah, but they'll just filter it through something like most commonly used is charcoal. And it gives it this smoothness, and it'll just clean it out. But then they'll re-add water back into it to bring it back down to an exact ABV, to whatever
because
they're looking for.
when they do that, it's a pretty high, like,
Yeah, it's
proof.
upwards of like 90%.
Yeah. So the water that's added back into it kind of balances out the vodka.
Yep.
I wonder if that affects the flavor, like where the water comes from. Scotch.
Or bourbon with limestone.
You gotta like use a different or a specific water source. So I wonder if that affects that's what differentiates all these vodka makers, distilleries from the other.
Yeah. And unlike whiskey, vodka skips all barreling processes, and aging it adds flavor, which unlike whiskey,
That adds the flavor.
aging
of
it adds the flavor.
Yeah.
So vodka avoids that to keep its neutrality and purity. But yeah, what are some of your favorite vodkas?
I think only because I did a little class on it, Kettle One.
Really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
I like the. Well, it does taste like rubbing alcohol, but
Yeah, that ethanol.
But it has like a peppery finish that I enjoyed at the time.
Yeah.
I haven't really tasted it again recently, but when I did that, I was like, wow, that's a pretty good vodka.
Yeah. There's also something fun that some people have asked me about while I'm making drinks, which is like, is this gluten free?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
There are some.
No, that's a great question.
Well, there are some people in the world that have celiac disease. Like
Yeah.
I had a roommate that was a celiac, and he would get violently ill if he consumed anything that had to do with wheat.
Yeah.
And so there are a handful of vodkas that are made with pure corn or pure potato.
Yeah.
And Tito's is one of those that is totally gluten free.
You asked him what his favorite vodka was, but I didn't get the answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we were going to get to you.
Never mind.
Go ahead. Ike, what's your favorite vodka?
I don't necessarily have a favorite, but I have one that's a kind of a go-to because the only time I drink vodka is when I'm over at my friend Melissa's house, and she only drinks Amsterdam. So
You Amsterdam?
yeah, it's not a bad vodka, but
It's not bad.
Not. It's vodka.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with that.
Yeah, and like even today, I was shopping around and I picked up this bottle of Wild Roots, which is American vodka.
No, I've had Wild Roots. I had Wild Roots. They have like CBD drinks. I had the Wild Roots CBD drinks.
Yeah.
That's made in it's actually local to Oregon. Made in Hood River or Sisters.
I think maybe Sisters.
Probably says on the bottle. I'll look while you guys talk.
That one is gluten free as well.
Clackamas?
Clackamas, it says.
Really? Huh.
The other ones, the other Wild Roots, I wonder if like they bottle or distill it in different spots.
They might. Talking about the CBDs,
No, the flavored ones.
the flavored Wild Roots.
Yeah, because I think it said Sisters or Hood River, one of those.
Well, there are a handful of other like really popular vodka brands. There's Absolute, which is made in Sweden.
That's probably one of the more famous ones.
Yeah, and it's a wheat based, so there's a lot of distillation that goes into it. Fun fact is like even if you use wheat to make the vodka, because it gets distilled so many times, all of those fibers or just molecules of wheat get filtered out. But for people that have severe celiac disease, sometimes they'll still even have like a mild reaction to it. But that's why things like Tito's is great, and Tito's is made in the U.S. It's a corn-based, pot distilled in Texas, slightly sweet finish.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people like that. Yeah.
If you're gonna go with like mid to like low shelf, Tito's is probably a go-to.
Tito's.
What's that one that has like the Russian, like the white label on it?
Stoli?
I think no, it's not Stoli. There's a different one.
Beluga?
It's Stoli.
Oh, Stoli.
But you know what happened with Stoli? Stolichnaya? Stolichnaya. They went bankrupt.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. They went out.
When did that happen?
No, it's not Stoli. That's the one. That's not the one I'm thinking of.
That's what Ashley from the liquor store told me.
Really?
That's why they couldn't get it in.
Interesting.
Maybe they got bought
Maybe.
because
Well, Absolute goes back to 1879.
and Absolute's Swedish.
Sweden, yep.
Yeah.
Tito's was from 1995. Grey Goose is from France. That's another good one that's really popular.
When was that made? Does it say?
1997.
Oh, really? That early? I mean, like soon.
Yeah,
I thought it was like older than
pretty
that.
recent.
Discontinued. See? Oh, mic check. That was a mic drop.
There it is.
Stoli. Discontinued. That was crazy to me. Like when I found it out. Stoli's such a very popular brand.
Smirnoff, that's another one that's fairly popular that is tied to Russia.
Yeah.
And it goes back to 1864.
Okay.
So that's an older one.
So
64, wow.
we're looking at all these dates.
Mhm.
Right. And I know there's this big argument of who created vodka.
Oh yeah, that's a good question actually.
Was it the Russians?
Definitely the Russians. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
definitely the Polish.
No, there's
No.
actually a debate on that.
So I was actually talking to David earlier, and I said the Russian word for vodka, or the Russian word for water is vodka, and then David said, yeah, but the Polish word for
Is Voda.
voda.
It comes from the
For little water.
It comes from the Slavic term voda.
Yeah, which is little water.
Little water, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, if we were back in those times, right? Like, I don't know if I'd exist because of my skin color, but
At least over there.
I'm talking about over there. Like, I probably would have had to work the farm, and you see these hands, just some gentle ass hands, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, me neither.
Grey Goose.
Yeah. David mentioned
Grey
that.
Goose is good.
1997 though.
So yeah, there's the science of a good cocktail. Basically, what are some of the most popular and famous cocktails when it comes to using vodka?
Well, I think the dude made it famous, the White Russian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Big
Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski.
That's right.
Vodka, Kahlua, and cream.
Yep.
So
That is a delicious drink.
yeah, that's actually a very good drink. If you guys haven't had it, try it out. Go to your nearest bar, Try it out. Order White Russian.
The other version is the Black Russian too. Like
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Black Russian.
it's a darker version.
Well, the Black Russian's just vodka and Kahlua.
Yeah, there's no cream.
Yeah.
But then there's another term for a White Russian. It's a Caucasian.
So there's the Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson is White Russian, but with added Coca-Cola.
No, I didn't know
Smith
that.
and Wesson, yeah.
Huh.
Oh
That's
my God.
cool.
I was thinking about this, and I'm sorry to just like kind of derail a little bit, but I was at a party once, and we had like Seagram's like drinks, like gin and tonic water and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
I yelled out to everybody, I'm like, anybody want some Seagrams? And somebody walked up and was like, you got vodka? I'm like, Seagram's makes vodka? Seagram's makes vodka.
They do?
apparently. Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, you got to read it.
It's the same goddamn brand, too.
I've never seen that bottle.
I've never seen it either.
So there is Seagram's vodka. I think they also make like a gin, too.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's like a New Amsterdam, like they have different, they make different spirits.
Yeah. So, but
Or like Ewan Young.
just like you guys.
Yeah.
Just like you guys. I didn't realize that Seagram's made of vodka.
Yeah.
That's
I've
funny.
never seen that label. It might be discontinued.
Let me look in to see if it's
Potentially.
available in
I don't think it's available in Oregon. I've never seen that. Not even at the liquor store.
There's also the Mule, the Moscow Mule.
Mule, yep,
That's a very
yep.
popular one. That's just basically ginger beer and vodka with usually like a tiny little like splash of lime to give it some zing.
And who's credited for making that? Because I saw a little article on that too
I don't know.
about I think it was the maker of Smirnoff or one of the heads of Smirnoff. Can't remember the exact date, but after a shift, he mixed lime juice and cock and bull ginger beer
Really?
and created. That's the legend. That's how like the legend of the Moscow Mule was born.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. John G. Martin,
Was he the creator?
looks like it, in 1940.
Yeah.
He was a spirits distributor who had recently acquired the rights to Smirnoff.
Oh, okay.
And Jack Morgan,
takes
the
it.
owner of Cock and Bull in Los Angeles, was trying to sell him his surplus of ginger beer. And the story goes that they mixed vodka with ginger beer, added a little bit of lime,
Yeah.
and served it in a copper mug.
Yeah.
Originally just a creative way to market the drink. And the bar employee named Wes Price had a stash of mugs from a struggling copper company. And those three being in the right place at the right time created a classic cocktail.
And everybody drinks it. And there's different variations. I know at
There's the Jameson Mule, the
Huckleberry Mule.
Huckleberry
There's a
Mule,
lot
It's very popular.
Newberg
Yeah.
Mule. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love a awesome Moscow Mule. There's also Bloody Marys. Those are usually made with vodkas.
Yep.
What are all of the different things that go into a Bloody Mary? There's like horseradish,
Yeah, I think the staples.
tomato juice.
You have to have black pepper, tomato. That's the staple.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else.
Worcestershire.
Well, I don't know if that's like a staple. But because you could do more horseradish.
Yeah.
The way we make it at
Tabasco.
O-Town.
That recipe is so freaking delicious.
And Summer actually tweaked it a little bit, just a little added flavor.
Yeah.
I think she added cayenne paprika, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, to it, and it just brought it out more.
Yeah.
So
That's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah,
Like for those of you at home, go around and
Yeah.
Google some different Bloody Mary recipes and
go to different bars and try their own, because every bar more than likely makes their own Bloody Mary mix.
that's true.
I doubt that they're still using the Mr. and Mrs. T's.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to knock places
yeah,
that
yeah.
might, but like good bars that have good beer or like spirits
Spirits
programs
program,
will have their own recipe.
The first time I ever had a Bloody Mary, I was at the Penny Arcade Expo. I can't remember what year it was. But the company that makes EVE Online, I got invited to their private party.
Mhm.
It was open bar.
Oh,
Yo,
And so I was like 4 drinks in already. And somebody's like, get a Bloody Mary. So I got a Bloody Mary. It was the first time I ever had a Bloody Mary. And I was like in my mid-20s. I thought it was disgusting as hell.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I thought it was
It's 100
disgusting.
years ago for you.
More than that.
But I thought it was disgusting. But it's grown on me since then.
Do you like Bloody Marys? You never.
No, I didn't say I like them.
It's grown,
I
though.
said it's grown on me. I'll enjoy a good Bloody Mary.
Okay. Well, you got to try Old Town's Bloody Mary.
Dude, I love Old Town's Bloody Mary mix so much that I'll just like pour a little bit of it without any vodka.
I mean, I'm sure Justin seen me on camera pouring like a little bit, like in the morning, like just a, you know, I'm
shot of
tasting it to make sure it's
Yeah.
quality control.
Has it
No,
held
no,
up well?
it's in no way a hangover remedy.
No, there's no vodka added. You know.
No, just talking about the Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah,
No way
yeah.
is
Just
it
just a
hangover
mix,
remedy.
straight mix. Yeah.
Right.
Or like customers probably seen me like swig a little bit of Bloody Mary mix.
They're like, hey, Tommy, what are you drinking over there?
Oh, it's just I'm checking the quality of the product.
I'm drinking first. Don't ask me questions right now.
There you go, David.
Oh, I haven't drank it yet. Don't ask me questions until that.
That's what it is.
What about a very, very popular one, the screwdriver?
Ooh, screwdrivers are great.
That's a good.
And your preference on fresh squeeze versus the concentrated orange juice?
Oh, freaking fresh squeezed all the way. That's so
That's your
much better.
preference?
Yeah.
What's yours?
Pulp free.
Pulp free, concentrate?
I don't care if it's concentrated or fresh squeezed, just as long as it's pulp free, because I hate shit floating in my drinks.
I prefer Pulp Fiction.
Yes. You know, I prefer
Hold on,
John Paul III. Are we talking
Paul
about
III?
popes or pulps?
Ha, ha, ha.
Cheers.
Hey,
get out of my house.
I like it.
Get out of my
I like
house
it.
right now.
That's funny.
No, but so here's a weird fact about me. I like the fake orange juice.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, it's not bad. Like, I'll
if I'm
still
gonna drink
enjoy a
vodka-
screwdriver if it's not fresh squeezed, but
I've got another story about this. There was one time we were at the Geek House. We were throwing a party, and we told my friend Jeremy to go pick up orange juice. He showed up with Sunny Delight. This isn't orange
Yes.
juice. What are you doing?
Yes.
Get back on your longboard and go.
Oh
to
my
actual
gosh,
orange juice,
dude.
you
Yeah.
weirdo.
Do you remember those commercials back in the day?
Sunny D.
On the beach? Oh man, Sunny D.
No,
Heck
they
yeah.
open the fridge, they're like, oh, there's some purples. Oh, yeah, it's Sunny D.
Gosh.
What about the Cape Cod? Cape Cod, that's a vodka cranberry with a lime.
Ooh,
I've never heard it called the Cape Cod.
Yeah.
that sounds really good. What
And-
you heard it called? Hold on.
Just a vodka cran.
And if you mix,
Oh.
so this is where it gets crazy. Like this is science, right? You get the Cape Cod and you got the screwdriver. But if you mix the two, the vodka, orange juice, and cranberry, you get a madras.
Cape driver.
A madras. MADRAS. And then if you
my name off this project.
take, no, this is, dude,
This is good.
I'm a
information.
nerd for
We're learning
cocktails.
great right now.
I'm a nerd for cocktails,
You
dude.
said it's why I'm taking my name off this project.
No, but you got those two, right?
Mhm.
And then, so you got the vodka, that's vodka orange, screwdriver, vodka cranberry, Cape Cod. Mix the two, a madras. You had peach schnapps, what does it become? A sex on the beach.
Hey, that's what it is. Yeah, that's funny. That's fun evolution there.
Gosh,
Hell yeah.
that wasn't even scripted.
Ah, that's why we have you here, Tommy.
We need to come up with a parody version of the Schoolhouse Rock intro.
Yeah. There's also the Cosmopolitan. That's a classic.
It is.
It's also the drink that Tommy would put into a fountain if he were to
Yes,
throw a
yes.
party.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's, it's not too sweet. Actually, there's no added sugar besides the cranberry juice.
Yeah. So, like, to
But-
those of you who don't know, Cosmopolitan is just vodka, cranberry juice, and lime, and triple sec.
Yeah.
So it's uses the orange liqueur.
Cointreau.
Or yes, anything that can be made with triple sec can be made better with Cointreau.
Cointreau is the...
Hold on, what's the difference between triple sec and Cointreau?
They're both orange liqueurs,
but
but
one's just better.
one's just...
Okay.
No. Okay, they're both orange liqueurs, but I think what sets it apart is the quality that goes into making the orange liqueur.
All right.
Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. So triple sec is just like the bottom of the barrel, and then you have the Cointreau, which they actually take their time to make it.
And then if you like make it in a certain region, you can get like Cognac France, you get Grand Marnier.
Yeah.
which is
Oh, so it's
elite.
That's a
It's an orange curacao.
Yeah,
right?
it's an orange liqueur curacao that
Difference.
has cognac. I just looked this up though. Triple sec generally has an ABV of 15 to 30%, but Cointreau is 40%, and triple sec is generally a category of dry orange liqueur, but Cointreau is a premium triple sec, and it's got a more refined, less sugary, but strong neutral orange essence to it.
And then we'll also
that term.
we'll talk later about like another episode, but there is a big difference between like curacao, like orange curacao or dry curacao, and triple sec.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and Torrin and Steven,
Two of our
Old Town-
coworkers
yeah,
at
two of
Old
our
Town.
coworkers, they actually taught me a little bit more about that.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
so I had to look that up. Man.
Wait, hold on. So they taught you something instead of you teaching them something?
I'm always learning, man.
Nice.
Never ending.
I don't
Damn
know
straight.
what-
I'm
I'll
learning.
take it.
I'm
I'll take
learning
it.
while I'm doing the show as well. You know,
Yeah.
you know, or at least like refreshing my memory.
Maybe I should just drink and then I'll ask questions later.
That's a great idea.
Sounds like a plan. Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, we're talking about drinks, right? What's your go-to vodka cocktail? Like if you were to drink vodka, right? Because I don't
a lemon drop.
lemon drop.
I like lemon drops.
Yeah.
There's a fun one that I've created that is kind of a lemon drop, but I altered it a lot, and I call it the peach party. I think I've made it for you.
Yeah. No, well, people have been asking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make me want
Yeah.
It's super good. But I've been using a peach vodka, which is Wild Roots branded. But I used half of that and half Tito's, because Wild Roots flavored vodkas they all have this uniform element of flavor to them where you can kind of tell this is a
can tell?
Wild Roots flavored. So I don't like using exclusively just the Wild Roots peach vodka. But I add like some peach puree to it, and I won't give away.
Schnapps, peach schnapps.
I
You add
haven't.
that to
I
that?
haven't. No,
Oh,
I haven't added that.
Because then it'd be like a really peachy party.
That would-
Well, that would be like the evolution of the
No,
peach
no.
party.
Make it kind of a sour one. You can do those peach sour ones called a peach sour
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I did that for Mario Day not
Yeah,
so long ago.
yeah,
there was the peach, Princess Peach
Oh,
spritz.
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, it was really good.
Did you see the picture? Oh man. it was
Tommy, what's your favorite vodka drink?
Vodka, Bloody Mary.
Well,
Anything that masks the taste of vodka.
yeah, like it was mentioned earlier, and I didn't even think about it when we first
What?
started. It'd be the White Russian would be my go-to, mainly because I am an ordained minister in the Church of the Dude. I'm a dudist priest. I
Damn.
can legally marry people.
In the Church of the Dude.
The
Dudist
church,
priest.
The Church of the Dude.
Yeah.
I'm 100% an ordained minister in the Church of the Dude. So I'm a Dudist priest.
His middle
not
name,
know that.
Isaac Lebowski Lewis, I think.
Can I bring Marquise here as a guest and you marry us?
Yeah, I can marry you guys. I can legally marry you guys. Yes. Sorry. Taint.
So, just for fun, Tommy, walk us through how you make just a classic martini, vodka martini.
Ooh, good question.
Vodka martini?
Yeah.
Sorry. Chewing.
You haven't eaten dinner.
But I'd get the vessel. Either it'd be a coupe or a martini glass, like the V shape.
What's a coupe?
A coupe.
You said martini glass. Everybody knows what a
So
martini
yeah,
glass is.
like the V
What's a
shape.
coupe?
A coupe is like a curved martini glass.
Oh, so it goes out like this rather than just straight up. Okay.
Yeah.
Famous by.
Cosmopolitans come in coupes.
I heard Marie Antoinette made it like it was like the shape of her breast. Like
Really?
she inspired the coupe.
I've heard that before. Actually.
Anyways, I'd chill the vessel, grab my vodka of choice, kind of one, pour 2.5 ounces. I'd get and chill it, stir, not shake, chill, While the martini is done chilling, the glass is done chilling, I get vermouth, 1/4 ounce, swirl some vermouth in there, in the vessel, dump it out. Some people like it in. I like to dump it out. And then I'd pour after it's chilled, pour the vodka.
Okay.
And then garnish it. I like lemon peel for the martini.
You don't add any olive juice?
No, if they want a dirty martini, I can add olive.
But just a straight martini, you don't add any olive juice. Okay.
So that's the difference between straight and a dirty is just the olive juice.
Well, there's so many terminologies for martini. You got the perfect. You got the dry, extra dry. You got the dirty.
No, you're right.
And that'll be another episode.
I've gotten into arguments with people like that. They're like super like adamant and like gung ho hardcore about the specific way they want their goddamn martinis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a little opinionated with how I make my martinis.
Yeah.
So I do the same. I kind of get my vessel, make sure it's chilled. For me personally, I always shake. I love to shake it, and I shake the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And shake it till literally your hand is frozen to the shaker. And like if I'm peeling my hand off of the shaker, then I know it's done.
Yeah, because it frosts.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But once that's done, you want to try and pour it out of the ice as quickly as possible because the ice is melting and it's diluting the vodka. But then I take my vermouth and I open up the vermouth and I pour it directly into the drain. Because vermouth sucks.
Oh, man.
No one likes vermouth.
Okay, why don't they like vermouth though?
Why does vermouth suck?
Okay, no. I'll tell
This
you.
is a vodka episode. We'll talk about vermouth
This is an
later.
opinionated vermouth, like why vermouth sucks answer. I think it's because a lot of times, right, at a bar, the vermouth is like 2 years old.
Yeah.
Hold on. No.
Not ours, because we go through.
Nobody gets it.
Well,
Tommy, it's drinks first, questions later, not drinks first and opinions later.
Like, how long is that vermouth?
No,
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
seriously.
Vermouth sucks.
I've had people ask me like, when did you open that? And I'll look at the date. Like, we're supposed to write the date on the bottom, like when it's open.
If the bartender takes the vermouth off and goes,
No, I like David's answer. Open the bottle of vermouth and pour it in the
Pour it
drain.
directly into the drain. Yeah.
But not at O-Town, right? You don't do that at O-Town.
No, not at all time.
No,
In all fairness, I'll do
You're not
what you
wasting
do.
product.
I'll pour a little bit of it into the glass. I'll do a swirl, and then I'll pour it out. Because you just want to like lightly coat the glass with some very small vermouth.
When it comes down to it, the customer is right, even though their drink's gonna fucking suck.
And what do you like to garnish it with? Or do you garnish?
I garnish with an onion.
That's right, you were mentioning that.
I personally hate olives, but like I also know that for people that want dirty martinis, like you want to throw a good ounce, sometimes maybe even an ounce and a half of olive juice into there.
I cannot drink
These people at O-Town?
Yeah, they like it.
It's like it's almost like they want 2 ounces of olive juice, olive brine, and then half an ounce of vodka or an ounce of vodka.
Hold on. I can get a martini without olive juice.
Yeah.
The olive juice is why I fucking hate them drinking martinis.
No. Okay, see, you've
Get
had
it with
you've
a twist.
had it wrong.
Get it with a twist.
No, every time I've ordered a martini, it just tastes terrible because it's got like shitty olive juice in it.
See, it's a classic martini does not have any olive juice.
Yep.
I'm gonna make you one.
Why? Why am I just learning this now?
Because you're asking the questions later.
Yeah.
You didn't ask it before.
Well, this
You were too busy drinking.
This is also why I'm here. I'm the other side of the bar
The
person.
voice of the.
You're the connoisseur of the spirits.
Yeah.
As an
No,
episode.
I know
Voice of the
some
connoisseur.
spirits, but it's just like I don't know how a lot of this stuff's made. And if I say, "Hey, I want a martini,"
Yeah.
they're just gonna make me a martini and put that shitty olive juice in
Well,
there.
you don't go to a bar without me and order a fucking martini. Because
That's fair. That's fair.
if you want to if you want to order a martini, bring me with you.
Yep.
And or David.
Or just to have us make you one.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a random bar in Vegas and be like, I want him to make my drink.
Oh no.
You'll get.
They're like,
Bad looks.
You're like, okay. They just go in the back and you're like throwing shit around.
So we explained how we like our martinis. You obviously explained how you drank your martinis.
No. I never knew.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
there
that's
were
crazy.
Exactly different. So many different types of martinis.
Well, the terminology is very important.
Exactly. But I've probably had maybe 4 martinis in my entire life. And
Were they all vodka?
I don't know. I just every time it was just like I want a martini, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. So and that goes with like the famous sayings and stuff, you know, like or the famous
007.
like what made vodka popular. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say
Big Lebowski with White Russian.
let's play the 007 clip really quick.
1 medium dry vodka martini, mixed like you said, sir, and not stirred.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
A martini for our guest,
A
Ellen.
pleasure.
Shaken, not stirred.
Of course.
For the gentleman, vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. Shaken, but not stirred.
Vodka martini? Shaken, not stirred.
Could I have say vodka martini sent up?
Shaken, not stirred. Would you get me a medium dry vodka martini?
What a
Shaken, not stirred.
Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Shaken, but not stirred.
Mr. Bond will have a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Dry martini.
Oui, monsieur.
Wait. 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quinoa lily. Shake it over ice and then add a thin slice of lemon peel.
Can I get you something, sir?
Vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. 2 vodka martinis, shaken, not stirred.
There was also a really popular vodka drink referenced in Mad Men, the show. The vodka gimlet.
Oh, the gimlet, yeah.
Yeah, gimlets are good, but they're generally
juice.
made with gin.
Gin gimlet, yeah.
Yeah.
Gin, lime. But Rose's lime is from what I like the original recipe, right? It was Rose's lime.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever had Rose's lime. It's disgusting. It's like, you know, the lemon juice that you get at the stores, like with the yellow cap.
Yeah.
Imagine
know what you're talking about.
watered down and sweet. Like a limeade is what Rose's lime to me tastes like.
Interesting.
Wait,
Yeah, but gimlets are generally just like a vodka gimlet is vodka, lime juice, and simple syrup. It's super basic.
I'm not to interrupt, but what's Rose's lime?
A
Rose's
Vesper?
lime, is that like it like a brand?
The Vesper. Vodka gin martini
Yeah,
with dry vermouth.
gross.
James Bond.
Yeah,
The Vesper?
yeah. Oh, and was there a Lillet Blanc in that one? Yeah, the Vesper has Lillet Blanc.
Yeah.
Production note: we should do famous movie drinks, famous TV show movie drinks at some point.
Well, I got a list of some. Like,
Yeah?
yeah.
Hit us.
I mean, in Casino Royale, it was Bond's Vesper. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are vodka drinks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just talking like an entire episode of just famous movie drinks.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got there, David?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what you got.
There's Sex and the City. They talk about cosmopolitans a lot.
Yeah.
I
I think that's what made it more popular.
Yeah.
The Sex and the City.
I hated the Sex and the City movie.
I never saw any of them.
I'll explain that later.
But The Big Lebowski for the White Russian in 1988 or 1998. But yeah, James Bond, the vodka martini.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, so the gimlet, right? It comes from 1928, but in 1953, a guy by the name of Raymond Chandler wrote in a novel that a real gimlet is half gin and half Rose's lime,
Really?
half and half. So that's probably what.
That's a lot of lime.
Yeah, Rose's lime.
And that's a specific
It's a
brand.
sweetened,
Yeah, it's a
sweetened lime.
I think I asked you this. What is Rose's lime?
It's a brand of lime juice.
Here, I'll look it up. I mean, I'll show you a picture because it's hard to explain. It's like fake lime juice.
I've probably seen it. I've probably
It's
used
like
it.
it's like saying
there.
Sunny D is orange juice.
Fair.
See, it says roses juice, sweet and lime.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before on the shelf.
And it says sweet and lime on the bottom too.
How much sugar is in one of those? Like more than it should. But by sugar, I mean like high fructose corn syrup, probably.
Sugar content. There is 2 grams of sugar for every teaspoon.
That's a lot of.
Wow.
That's a lot of sugar. Holy
That's what it says.
That's more sugar than lime.
Yeah.
2 grams of sugar
And especially if it's like
per
it's like concentrated
teaspoon
or like,
serving. It's like that to this.
Yeah. That's a lot of sugar.
yeah. So that's sugar syrup and not, and not
Well,
like lime juice.
it's lime infused sugar syrup.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
It's lime infused
It's like, let's
sugar.
take a whole bunch of sugar and add a little bit of lime
I
to
was-
make it into something.
I was about to say it's lime infused sugar water, but that's more syrup than water at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So it's lime infused sugar syrup.
But
What else you got on the
well, that's
popular?
all of the pop culture. But I got some more like cool notes about the history of vodka and like how it grew. Apparently back in the 1400s, Poland and Russia refined it. Poland's first written record of vodka was in 1405. But Russians, Ivan III, regulated it in 1474.
So would it be the Polish or the Russians?
That's
Man, because
highly
I feel
disputed.
like if somebody created something or documented something first,
they should get the credit.
the Russians did, right? Because
Well,
1470.
well, 1474 was Russia, but 1405 was Poland.
But what did Poland do in 1405?
It's just the first written record of it.
Oh, the written record. Okay, so I think the Polish.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna make a lot of enemies.
The Poles.
But in
to the polls on that one.
1700s, charcoal was added as a filtration process used to smooth the spirit, and Russia's nobility embraced the credit for that. You know, there's a lot of stuff here to talk about, and I think we might actually do another part 2 episode to this one.
Great idea.
So
I'm down.
we might actually, I would love to do a battle of the bartenders, and Tommy and I can both make a martini.
Wait, but who's the judges?
Ike's going to be the judge.
Oh,
Mike-
just
Mike
straight.
Mike and Ike.
Mike and
Mike and Ike.
Yeah,
You know, Mike likes fucking rubbing alcohol.
he does like rub.
All I'm gonna do is chill that vodka. That's all I'm gonna do is chill the vodka. And Mike's like gonna be like, dude, that's the best one right there. That one.
Just straight vodka.
I think
Yeah.
we should just take a cheers.
And we're going to go to the last sipper.
Yeah, go into the last sipper.
Oh, we're doing the thing.
Wait, I'm just modeling here.
He actually sipped on that.
Did he?
Yes, he did. I can hear
All
it.
right, cheers.
What is
Yep.
that?
Wow.
Oh, that's the Wild Birds.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Drinks first.
Cheers. Questions later.
Cilantro.
Cilantro. Cilantro.
David.
Get out of my house.
Flare something, David.
Get out of my house.
Is it my
Flare
turn to flare?
Flare
I brought my shakers. I'm not really. I'm
There
not
he
as good
is.
Shake, shake,
as
shake.
good as Tommy
Shake
is,
your
but
booty.
Dude, he does both of those, like behind the back or over the shoulder steps. It's crazy.
nope. I'm not as good as Tommy is.
Good.
There it is.
And that's the show. Drinks first,
Hey, people are trying to sleep.
questions later.
Michael's trying to sleep.
Yeah.